All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Qualtrics XM Community podcast. I'm Michael Cooksey, and I'm the head of community here at Qualtrics. For those of you who are new to our podcast or perhaps new to the Qualtrics XM community, our community is truly global. We have customers who come to the community from around the world. And one fun fact I like to share is that we even have community members in Antarctica. So we are truly a global community. One of our customers recently mentioned on the community that as someone who has been involved in many different platform communities, Qualtrics is hands down by far the best. Of course, we love hearing that feedback. And if you're not a part of the XM community, we highly encourage you to join. It's totally free. All you need to do is log in using your existing Qualtrics credentials. You'll be asked to fill out a couple of profile fields about yourself, and then you're in. You can post questions, reply to other members, network with Qualtrics customers around the world, of course, earn merchandise through our Rank and Rewards program, and so much more. Today's episode, though, is not just about all of the benefits of the Qualtrics XM community, but introducing the Qualtrics Customer Hub. And I am joined by my colleague, Natalie Maxwell. Natalie is a UCLA grad, one of the smartest people I've had the pleasure of working with. And Natalie was also recently promoted at Qualtrics. So congratulations on that, and welcome, Natalie.
Thank you so much, Michael. Yeah, I guess so. A little bit about me. I started as a product specialist, so one of those people that helps you with an issue if you have one and contact support. And that just gave me a really great perspective on how customers use our platform, but also the ways that we can improve the experience for them no matter what they're trying to accomplish. So in my current role, I'm a technical program manager on the digital support experience team. And I own the customer feedback and enablement programs for the Customer Success Hub. And it's just been so amazing to see this space evolve from a place to submit support requests to all it is now, which I will definitely get into, especially since so much of it has been directly inspired by our customers.
Well, I'm so excited you agreed to join me today to talk about this. I think it's really important that customers learn all about this new avenue that's available to them. And as an experience management company, Qualtrics is always trying to do the most to stay ahead of the curve, to serve our customers in the best possible way, to make sure that they have all of the success and enablement resources they might need at their fingertips. And we recently launched on the XM community a global navigation element that allows customers to access the Customer Hub directly through that new menu option. And we also have some buttons on the community homepage that also take you to different aspects of the Customer Hubs. For example, places where you can see who your XM team is comprised of, other information about your license. But I'm not the expert on the Customer Hub. That's really more your area of expertise. So why don't we start with a high-level overview of what the Customer Hub is, and then maybe talk about some of the plus points and benefits that customers need to know about.
Yeah, definitely. So we understand that it can be challenging for our customers, especially those just getting started with Qualtrics, to navigate our platform and resources. There's just, so much that the platform can do that sometimes it can be difficult to know where to even start. We've always invested in offering top tier live and digital support, but we realize that it really doesn't matter how good our resources are if people are having trouble finding them. So that's why we've been investing really heavily in trying to give our customers a direct path through what may feel a bit like a maze at the beginning of their XM journey. And the hub is just the result of those efforts and expands digital self-service capabilities to proactively and digitally assist you as you learn, use, and seek help with Qualtrics, no matter where you are in your XM journey. I guess just think of the hub as your digital front door to personalized experiences that help you just make the most of your partnership with Qualtrics. It just gives you a one-stop shop to access all the on-demand resources that we have available. So think training videos, product documentation, subject matter expertise, and of course the XM community, as Michael mentioned. But it also connects you with all the live channels when you need them.
That's perfect. I think that's a great summary of the motivation and the impetus behind this project. I know that just in my short tenure so far at Qualtrics, I've talked to customers who have said Qualtrics has so many capabilities. It can do so much. And when you're new to the platform, it can be a little bit daunting to know where to start, whether you're trying to master the platform or connect with the Qualtrics team or other people. So the Customer Hub, I think, will solve a lot of those issues and address a lot of that feedback that I know I've seen before. So I think we're also, with this effort, we are addressing something that the tech world as a whole is also trying to accomplish. Everybody has become so much more tech savvy these days, and everybody has, I would say, a much higher standard when it comes to self-service options and the ability to find information quickly. Some of that is a factor of all of the technology in our lives and the fact that our attention spans have somewhat decreased. I know that personally, if I can't find exactly the information I'm looking for within 30 seconds on a website, I'm out. I don't spend a lot of time. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm impatient. But what I like about the hub is everything is right there. So you really don't have to do that sort of treasure hunt that maybe happens on other platforms or with other brands that are out there. Everything is in one centralized place. And I see the industry moving in this general direction. And I'm really, really glad to see that Qualtrics is ahead of the curve in that regard.
Yeah, like you said, we're an experience management company, so we have to take into account what we see and hear happening all around us, because it is really obvious that having a centralized location for all the resources that promote customer success with any platform leads to better experiences all around, and not just for customers, but for the employees as well. Just being able to have one place to point customers to.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as an experience management company, we want to remove any sort of mystery about where to find resources or help or how to get started. Why don't we talk a little bit about getting started? I know that there are some specific resources and entry points available through the Customer Success Hub for people who are new to the platform. Do you feel comfortable talking about a few of those and just doing a drill down on some of the resources that are available for people who might be new to Qualtrics?
Yeah, definitely. So probably the best place to start, of course, is the homepage. And that
Yeah.
gets you to anywhere in the hub that you want to go, whether that be looking at your profile info. So that includes how to contact your account team or brand administrator, depending on what kind of user you are. And then also kind of gives you a glimpse into any of your connected accounts if you have them. So any certifications that you may have through our Basecamp, and also any statistics you have related to your community account if you're a community member. Then, if you want to kind of explore some of the self-serve resources that we have, we did recently release some learning checklists in the My Skills section, which are the best place to start if you're a new user or even an older one that just needs a little bit of a refresher in some key areas. So we have 3 available right now. One is just launching a survey project, and it just takes you through every step and through multiple resources that we have and consolidates it all into one checklist. So it's a very easy and guided way to kind of track how you're learning to learn the basics of our platform. And the great thing is that it just saves your progress. So if you do need to leave for the day or you just want to break from that learning journey, then you can just come back whenever you want to and just resume wherever you left off. So that's our main one. And then we also have one on all of our Qualtrics resources. So if you just kind of want to explore what we have to offer, there's a lot out there, and that's a great place to start, just to get a glimpse into everything available to you. And then the last one is specifically for brand administrators and kind of learning what capabilities and responsibilities you have as an admin to just maintain your brand and make sure that everyone is set up for success. So those are some really great resources, especially if you're starting out.
Perfect. I'm glad you highlighted those. Some of the resources that you highlighted are available directly on the XM Community homepage as well. So if you want to quickly access, for example, my XM team and who's a part of my Qualtrics team, how do I contact my folks internally at Qualtrics? There's a button directly on the community homepage now that will take you to that section of the Customer Success Hub. We also directly linked to the checklists that you were talking about for anybody who's wanting to go through our prescribed onboarding journey, master all of the Qualtrics basics. There's a button directly on the XM community called Learn Qualtrics that takes you directly to those checklists inside the hub. So there are multiple ways to get there. Nobody has an excuse anymore. We're giving everybody multiple inroads into success at Qualtrics and support for starting out on your Qualtrics journey. Tell me a little bit, Natalie, about the future of the Customer Success Hub. I know that this is new for customers now. This is a new initiative. I know, obviously, that we've been working on it internally for a long time. What does the future hold? What can customers look forward to?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess going off of those different learning checklists, we're planning to release a lot more in the future and have it be kind of your one-stop library of consolidated resources for different product lines and just different capabilities and use cases. So that's something that we're really excited for. Another thing that we want to expand on is just being able to have designated points of contact within your brand, just to make the renewal process easier, or just the communication preferences easier, just so that you can feel more in control of how you're connecting with Qualtrics live and digitally. And then also for product support, we're getting more updates into how you can manage your end-to-end ticket experience directly in the hub. So something that we actually recently released is the ability to respond directly to any open email ticket in the hub. So instead of having to dig through your inbox, try to find that ticket that you might have lost track of, you could just go right into the hub, see your open tickets, and just type the response right there, and then send it on its way. And it'll still go to your inbox, but this is just kind of an easier way to manage those tickets. And brand administrators can also just see any ticket in their brand. They can't respond to tickets that they don't own yet, but that is something that we're also kind of considering offering as a functionality in the future.
That's fabulous. I'm glad to hear that. I think, again, just personally speaking about my own internet habits, I think all of us are inundated with email. Things get lost in the inbox all the time. So having a dedicated space or hub where you can find all of that information and not have to do any sort of inbox treasure hunts is always a good thing. What about people who want to contact sales? Is that also an option through the Customer Success Hub?
So currently it's not, but we are kind of exploring that as an opportunity as well. So if you want to, increase what you have access to with your license, or are just interested in different upgrade options, then that's we're looking to kind of integrate that ability to initiate those conversations directly from the hub as well.
Perfect. That I was aware of those plans, and I know that customers will ask sometimes, is there a self-service option for adjusting my license? Or we have a chat bot on the community, and people will ask the chat bot, how do I access information about my license or my team or my salesperson? So it's good to know that those are possibilities for the future.
Yeah.
Do you see the success of the Success Hub as something that is tied to any specific outcomes for customers? Is it really more of a factor of convenience, as we've been discussing? How will we know if the Customer Success Hub is doing what it's intended to do?
Yeah, so one way that we're kind of looking into that is just seeing if there's better usage of the different product areas that we're trying to push more customers to with these learning checklists or onboarding checklists, and just seeing if these new resources and having them all in one place helps just get customers started and stay within or stay in the product, and don't get discouraged if they do hit some snags in the road, because they have some of these more easily accessible self-service options here. And also just being able to more easily connect with their live counterpoints within Qualtrics, I think will be very valuable. And we're trying to reduce any kind of request switching, so or like request routing, just to make sure that we know that you're busy. We want to get you exactly where you need to be as quickly as possible. Right. And so we're hoping that by opening up these more direct channels, that will allow requests to get properly routed so that there won't be as much, rerouting of different things when that happens. Yeah.
We don't want people to be jumping around between different entry points or resources or pages. We just want to make everything convenient. It sounds to me, I usually explain to people when I talk about communities, brand communities in general, I always tell people, first and foremost, communities are there to serve the customer, number one. Communities are a benevolent exercise. They are an altruistic exercise. They are designed to facilitate the customer's success with the platform. They are purely there for help. And it sounds like the Customer Success Hub is a very similar thing. It's designed with convenience and help and resources and the customer in mind. It's an altruistic, benevolent exercise and making sure you have all the resources you need at your fingertips, and that we're making information more convenient for you. So that sounds like it's very much in line with what the XM community is all about.
Definitely shared values.
Perfect. Do you see the Customer Hub as something that is part of a movement that is happening in the tech world in general?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at Microsoft or Salesforce, all these big companies that do have a lot to offer, everyone's realizing that it doesn't matter how much you can do for the customer if they don't know how to even deal with everything that you're trying to offer them. So having these consolidated areas definitely makes a huge impact in terms of the customer experience and how likely they are going to just stay a customer with you, because their happiness and enjoyment using your product directly translates to just all the success that you can have, both customer success and company success. So
I think you brought up a perfect point. I wish I'm going to have to write that quote down. It doesn't matter how much you do for customers if they're not able to find the resources you're creating for them. I think, am I getting that right? Is that approximately what you said? I think that's huge for any company that's interested in experience management, or even the employee experience, um, and especially the customer experience. That's huge. That's really huge. Well, I think that's a great place for us to wrap up our conversation, making sure that we're doing everything we can for customers and making sure that they're aware of where to find those resources in order to be successful. Is there anything else you want our customers or community members to know?
Well, I guess speaking of finding resources, for any more information about the Customer Success Hub, if you're curious, there is a community post dedicated to it, and that includes a bunch of resources for you to reference if you're curious to see what the Hub offers in more detail. But honestly, the best way to find out what it can do for you specifically is to just log in and explore it yourself. So those are
Perfect.
my final words about that.
I'm glad you mentioned the article on the community. There is an article that includes videos that Natalie made, for anybody who wants to learn more about what the Customer Success Hub is all about. There are also resources attached to the post as well. And anybody who's listening to this can also comment on that post and ask questions. So that's fantastic. Natalie, thank you so much for talking to us today and being a part of the XM community. Is it okay if customers have questions on the community? Can they tag you in their questions?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to hear anything that you have to say about the hub and clarify anything if needed. I'm
Perfect.
here for you. So
Perfect. I'll make sure
definitely.
that when we post this podcast, I'll make sure that your community username is part of the information so that people can find you easily on the community. And of course, community members can always contact me or any of our community admins for help or questions with anything related to the XM community or Qualtrics. All right, Natalie, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day, and I hope to speak again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a good one.